According to a dental analysis of a 1.2 million year old tooth that once belonged to one of our early human ancestors, we know that raw meat and vegetables were on the menu, accompanied by bits of wood, butterfly wings, and a little bit of an insect's leg.
All food was eaten raw, and there is no evidence for its processing. When humans started using fire for cooking and warmth has been widely debated, with some researchers suggesting it goes back 1.8 million years, while others put in their 2 cents for between 1.2 million and 800,000 years ago.
Nowadays, we talk a lot about diets, believing that the time has come to return to a more sensible way of eating and living. Some dietitians recommend we give up carbohydrates, others say no to fats. There's a group that is sure we should quit protein.
Maybe we should just eat what our ancestors ate? The past does not reveal a simple answer. Nature tried to kill our ancestors, starve them out, but they survived anyhow. Sometimes with more meat, other times with none at all, thanks to the ancient flexibility of our gut and other factors.
Our bodies are full of evolutionary histories, went through recent and ancient adaptations, and the food we eat nowadays has changed completely. The adaptation of our bodies to the food we consume vary from person to person, whether because of unique gut microflora or versions of genes. All things considered, our bodies did not evolve to be in harmony with the past diet, but to take advantage of what was available.
The paleo diet focuses on imitating how our hunter-gatherer ancestors ate as closely as possible using foods available to us now. Followers say it will help minimize the risk of chronic disease because they believe that our ancestors did not suffer from the ones we now face, and it also goes along with weight loss.
As we already know, from 2.5 million and up to 10,000 years ago, humans presumably were picking berries, chasing mammals, digging up tubers, and later on learning to fish.
Most paleo dieters today refuse to eat dairy or processed grains. Peanuts, lentils, beans, and other legumes are off the menu, and processed sugars are prohibited too. A paleo diet typically includes lean meats, fish, fruit, vegetables, nuts, and seeds.
So at least one thing is done right, cutting down on processed foods that have been highly modified. For example, white bread, cheese, packaged meats, potato chips, and sugary cereals. Such processed foods often offer less protein, fiber, and iron than their unprocessed equivalents, filled with sodium and preservatives that may increase the risk of heart disease and certain cancers.
But in its most traditional form, the diet prohibits any kind of food unavailable to Stone Age hunter-gatherers, including dairy rich in calcium, grains loaded with fiber, and legumes rich with protein. Obesity, heart disease, diabetes, cancer, and many other modern diseases, the paleo followers argue, result above all from the conflicts of our Stone Age anatomy with our present-day way of eating. There was a time, they say, when body and mind were in harmony with the environment.
But who knows if such time existed? An excerpt from Scientific American makes a good conclusion to what was said. Our species was not designed to subsist on a single optimal diet. What is remarkable about human beings is the extraordinary variety of what we eat. We have been able to thrive in almost every ecosystem on the earth, consuming diets ranging from almost all animal foods among populations of the Arctic to primarily tubers and cereals, grains among populations in the high Andes.
To sum up, hunter-gatherers hunted and gathered because they had no other option. But paleo dieters attempt to eat like hunter-gatherers because they want to.
Many people don't believe there is a special best diet for our health, but a great deal of research suggests that a food program focusing on vegetables, protein, and healthy fats has substantial benefits for losing weight, keeping you smart as a whip, and protecting your heart and brain as you age. Positive impacts of the diet also include better mobility and a lower risk of chronic diseases like cancer, specifically colon, breast, and prostate cancer, metabolic syndrome, diabetes, and depression.
This type of diet has many names, from plant-based to Mediterranean. Some people on the diet are vegetarian and keep from meat and animal products. Others eat eggs and dairy, meat and fish, or all of the above.
As a core element, plant-based meal plans are very similar and have two main characteristics. They are rich in vegetables, proteins, and healthy fats, and low in refined carbohydrates and heavy processed foods. This balance is also essential to keeping us full after a meal, so we don't feel the urge to overeat.
As the dietitian Nicola Whitehead says, you need to have a balanced meal. Things like whole grains, fiber, and vegetables in order to sustain your blood sugar. Empty calories like white bread and white rice give a temporary fix.
To keep our energy levels up and help us feel healthy as time goes by, our diet needs to fit more than our stomach. It has to satisfy our muscles that demand protein, our digestive system, which runs much better with fiber, and our tissues and bones, which work in the best possible way when they are getting vitamins from food.
As an extra benefit, eating a plant-based diet improves the health of our gut, so we are better able to absorb the nutrients from the foods that support our immune system and reduce inflammation. Those phytochemicals and antioxidants that boost our immune system are also neutralizing toxins from pollution, processed food, bacteria, and viruses. Fiber can lower cholesterol and stabilize blood sugar, and is extra important for good bowel management.
Plant-based diets have key benefits for the mind as well. The researchers compared the diets of 6,000 older adults, after which they measured their memory and attention skills. Those whose eating plans lined up with Mediterranean diets did significantly better than those on other types of diets.
Plant-based diets are beneficial for the brain in the following ways. They are rich in antioxidants and two types of healthy fat, monounsaturated and omega-3 fatty acids. These ingredients reduce risk of dementia.
Green vegetables and berries help to protect against progressive loss of the structural function of brain cells, known as neurodegeneration, key characteristic of diseases like Parkinson and Alzheimer's.
If going full plant-based does not feel right yet, begin small, with lowering your animal food intake and replacing it with legumes or nuts as your protein source. Give it a try. It might have a long-lasting positive impact on your health.
Here are some simple tips to help you get started on a plant-based diet. Eat a lot of vegetables and make sure to include plenty of colors in choosing them. Have smaller amounts of meat. Choose good fats: olive oil, olives, nuts, seeds, avocados, whole eggs, chia seeds. Include whole grains for breakfast: oatmeal, quinoa, buckwheat. Add some greens: kale, collards, spinach, cabbage, and other greens each day. Eat fruit for dessert. When diet is wrong, medicine is of no use. When diet is correct, medicine is of no need.